You are listening to Those Casual Reds with Casey Gayle, Jeremy Sanchez, and Mikey Douglas, only on LA Talk Radio.
So you know the deal. It's time for Those Casual Reds with Casey Gayle on LA Talk Radio.
Yes. We're brought to you by, this is Those Casual Reds show. Brought to you by Valorian Malukian. Valorian Malukian is Shagdidian BMS is what they call it, located in 4730 Woodman, beautiful city of Sherman Oaks, California. Specialized in personal injury, wrongful death, wrongful firement. Just, you know how the thing is. Don't kill no man, and they'll take care of you with a 98 success rate, 96 and 98. One of the finest law firms in Southern California, I have to admit. 747-444-4444. Valorian, Manukian, and Sheikh Gideon, BMS. And tell them that Those Casual Reds sent you. All right, let's bring in the gentleman. What a beautiful show we're going to have tonight. Look at this cast of
distinguished gentlemen.
Distinguished gentlemen. I got Mike in Atlanta, Sean in Pittsburgh, Bandito here in Los Angeles, my man Cheese in the studio, German in the studio. This is Those Casual Red Show. It's a beautiful thing. How's we feeling?
We're feeling great.
Yeah?
Yeah. Beautiful LA Manchester fan week. Good vibes right through.
Good vibes.
Yeah, man. Starstruck. Guilty.
Are you really?
Yeah, man. And I don't even know why. Like I see them almost every summer since New York, and it's like I was like, oh shit. It gets me.
I ran up on a couple of men. I took a turn where I was to go to an area, and I ran up on a couple of men. They was like, "Sir, you're not even supposed to be back here." And I see, "Oh, Rashi, my dude, what going?" They looked at me like, "Oh, this dude is crazy." But anyway, Atlanta, how you feeling?
Wagwan, everything is blessed. Everything is good. Everything is chill, man. I'm ready for SC, ready for the real fan fest to start. And yeah, everything's good, man. Shout out to everybody.
That's a shot fired. First of all, I got beef. I'll listen to your show. Bandito, let's get you out of the way. How you feeling today? I'm going to go at these two gentlemen.
Let's first. I'm feeling good. It's been a busy week for United fans across LA. If you want it, United Roadshow moves on to San Diego. So there's been open training twice a day. There's been fan events throughout LA with legends. And let me tell you about one that I went to. This was the Friday before the Saturday match at the SoFi Stadium in LA. It was called Warm Up with Legends. And this was hosted by Manchester United, O'Brien's Pub, which is our home pub in LA, and Manchester United supporters of Los Angeles, who go by the acronym MULA. And it was hosted by Andy Mitten. If you don't know who Andy Mitten is, he's a journalist from Manchester. He's followed the United summer tour since '91. He writes for GQ. He writes for The Athletic. He has his own fanzine that he started back as a teenager called United We Stand. And you'll hear news from him. He's got loads of contacts in the club throughout the years. So really good. One of the journalists that I listen to, and there's all this United news, and you can kind of rank the seriousness of it, and I rank him pretty high up there. So got to chat with him a little bit. Now Casey was in a issue of United We Stand, and I took that to Andy Mitten, and he autographed that for you. So I had a little chat with him. That was cool. But the legends that were there, 3 treble winners, Andy Cole, Dennis Irwin, and Wes Brown, 2-time Champions League winner Wes Brown. It was a ticketed event, so it was the pub wasn't jam packed, but it was a really cool event. I gave it, even if you wanted to hate it, you couldn't hate it. It was fantastic. The Dennis Irwin was very funny, and these players, they do a lot of these. They're doing another one tonight in San Diego. So sometimes you think that you get these like canned answers that they're just repeating all the time, but I think Mitten was pretty good at like getting details and fun stories out of them. At one point, he's like, Dennis Irwin, right? He's like, don't record me. Don't put this on your socials. I'm going to take stuff that I don't want out there. So it was just a good, fun event. And so right now there's loads of people from Manchester in LA, for the week, just on holiday, and then down in San Diego. So there was loads of Reds from all over the place, actually. But some of the more familiar people that were there from YouTube channel, like the United Religion, Stretford Paddock boys were there. Alex and John Neal, he does Famous Alex, where he does these match day blogs that are really, really entertaining. Gives you like a feel of being in the stands. So Alex and his dad were there. Good Vibes John from New York, who's on a lot of media channels. He was there as well. And yeah, it was a good time. Got to meet a lot of Reds from around Southern California and United States, and from over in Manchester as well. So really enjoyed it. Was there with a couple of our boys, the ACJ boys. So that was fun.
I missed that event, obviously, because it's a little bit more subdued. I was told I had to be
On your best behavior.
can't call Andy Cole Andrew all night like the last time I was in his presence, and he wanted to fight me, I think. But I thought it was just, we were having fun times. But yeah,
seemed like a real nice guy. Like he wouldn't hurt a fly, but I don't know.
Yeah, but
someone must have made him mad.
Shout out to Emulate and Brian for putting that together. And Emulate does we do a good job of that, of bringing ex people back and getting us close to them and opportunities to meet them. Andy Minton is top class. Met him a couple times. Top class. I love United Stand. I love his thing. He always puts the child pictures in there, and it's a great time. So looks like I missed another one of those events.
But you were at the pre-game event on Saturday.
So let's talk. First of all, I want to Sean, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Excited for tomorrow. I leave for tomorrow. Mikey ain't coming down on Friday, but I'm actually leaving tomorrow. And then I just booked my flight to England on Sunday too. So
the second person in the show is already booked for England.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I'm not really looking forward to it that much. I got to leave at South Carolina at 8 a.m. Drive 8 hours back to Pittsburgh, drop my bag off, get my wife take me straight to the airport, and then get on an airplane to England after an 8-hour drive.
Damn.
So,
on the South Carolina trip, I know you guys were talking about, and you were concerned about who was going to play. I wonder who's going to play tomorrow. Is it going to be the youngsters again? Because the last time in San Diego was all youngsters, because they had to play another game on the weekend, and they saved that. They spaced them out. Yeah. So I really want you guys to go ahead, Bandito.
I'm thinking it's going to be a first team for a half. If you remember, they played Wrexham, which is League Two, but they're playing Real Betis, who Spanish First Division, and they're kind of in the shadow of Sevilla, and they want to be, they want to improve and get bigger as a club. So I think we're going to see at least for 45 minutes first team.
That's good, because that's one thing I would like for you guys are going to be in South Carolina. You guys are going to make the trip, getting these tickets. Everybody's going to Is this? He's sleeping though.
Mikey's
God.
wait.
Okay. So I know that was something you guys were talking about. Who's going to play? So I was hoping, everybody gets that experience because it's really good. Like you said, you're starstruck to see the guys up close and everything. But I want to clear something with the United Fan Zone show.
Uh-huh.
Now, Sean, when
What
he
did I
talks
do?
that LA garbage, you are guilty by association. So listen, I want you to know we're keeping record of all the times it's going down, and everybody in LA. We just want you to know we're paying attention to the LA hate. So you guys be careful when you do that because
I didn't say nothing bad.
Okay.
Look. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. LeBron sucks, so it's okay.
That's crazy.
Wow.
You were guilty of last week's show.
All right, so let's get to it. We just want to clear that up. So a few of us went to the event here in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. There was a pregame at something called Cosmo, which I've never heard. Cosm.
Or that.
Is here, yeah.
So it was nice because like for us, like at the event, a lot of celebrities were walking around. I walked into NBA dudes and they were like, "Who's this guy?" And saw the Stratford Paddock guys. They're all there. United Stand people was there. So it was a big event. LA brought out everything, the noise. The game to me was.
Did you see the game?
I did see the game. Why would you say something?
Yeah, let's get to that.
Why would you say that?
It's Casey watch games.
Because there's a lot of you up and down the stairs and just like dipping and I'll be back.
I'm gonna let y'all know when they didn't call that offsides, I was pissed. I was irate because that was a goal, and I'm just saying, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
So offside.
It was so offside, so I'm just like, once that happened, I don't want to say I lost interest, but I was like, oh, this is a wasting. This is a wasting. And then the Arsenal fans was like, they were hype. I couldn't believe there was a couple in our section. I was like, what is this?
Like the stadium wasn't big enough to separate.
Yeah, so how was that? Is it everything was just mixed in? You just did it wherever, or what was the deal? Was there a dedicated?
I know in South Carolina there is.
Definitely is the United section.
Mm-hmm.
But there was like husbands of United supporters sitting with us, that type thing. So it was separated. It was separated. I'm gonna keep it 100. There was a lot of Arsenal heads up in there, but that's their
what was the ratio? What was the ratio you would give from United fans to Arsenal fans?
51-49.
Yeah,
you tip to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a lot of yardies, but it was
technically an Arsenal home game. The owner, right?
Exactly. It's fun to see how LA people react to it. The pregame. Yeah. So gotta make sure I don't say.
Were any of you at the open trainings?
Yes.
That was
Cheese.
I was.
Cheese let me down. He let me down. Cheese. He let me down.
First of all,
who looked good? What was Rude up to? Come on, talk about it.
I got 0 signatures. First of all, I let Sean down. All right, let's get that out of the way. Rashi looked amazing. Ahmad looked amazing. I think McTominay scored the most goals in training. Casey's player Hamas, or as we know him, Amas, was amazing in training. And there was a young striker who looked good as well. I don't know if it was Wheatley. But he looked good as well. But and Wan-Bissaka looked good. I don't know if he's on his way out, but he looked good in training.
Wan-Bissaka.
But like real time is crazy. Like how fast Marcus Rashford is.
Wicked, huh?
Holy, just his feet are lightning quick. And I'm just like, dude, please just get your stuff together this season, please, and give us a break with the injuries.
Is that how they say with Rude? He's running things.
And
all the
he's
he's
an assistant coach, right? It's not like he's specifically the strikers coach. I'm not sure. He seemed like he's an assistant. He was definitely directing a lot of the training that at open practice that we went to. Ten Hag was just chilling in his bucket hat, like tanning. just like literally like observing for the most part. Like, yes, he was giving instructions, but he was in the background and like the assistants were running, training. Darren Fletcher looks like he could still play for United. He was out there on the opposing team, like making up numbers and shit. And like, you're like, holy Darren Fletcher. Yeah.
Yeah, man, them nice.
Yeah. So, it was a proper thing for sure. Again, fail with the signatures because that's a whole process.
But it looked like a pain in the ass to get signatures. Though.
Exactly that. And I know what, like, if there's over 100 fans there, and even if you took 1 minute per signature, you're still there for 100 minutes. And to try and get it from your favorite player. So I get it. It's a mad thing. The man them will pay extra money can go down on the field. Like there's people on field level getting pictures with the players, easy signatures. It's like, how much that costs? Just let me know. What I gotta win, what contest I gotta enter. Let me know how to level up. But yeah, it was a beautiful thing. Like, if this is what life is like for people who get to see them practice at Carrington because they live in Manchester, like, bless them. They're so lucky. Oh, and another thing, the man them seem happy. I was like, I hope that all those smiles carry into the season.
Who's talking about?
Like, just the team overall. Like, open practice was they looked like they were vibing.
Well, that's what I heard in the streets.
Hoyland is a joker. Like, he looked like class clown out there and like beer vibes.
That's what I heard in the streets, though. Enough man was like, kissing them here.
Yeah.
Them here. And I heard, they was really unified at the spots. I'm not gonna say nothing, but they said, no, these dudes look tight. And that's good to hear. Because I've always questioned this team.
Yeah. For me, especially, like, all my information is coming from the media. So I'm always just like, is it true? Is it not? How to read into it? But like, to see them together, just like, yo, it's a vibe. They look like they like each other.
So one of the guys at the events, he's a LA Red and a former Division I college footballer, and he signed up to drive golf carts.
Oh yeah,
practice.
Awesome.
And he was driving the guys back and forth.
Awesome.
And he said it was just a really good time for them, and it was like really loose and joking, and it seemed really genuine. They're not gonna put on an act for him. He's just driving a golf cart. So it kind of echoes what you're saying. Like, this time for them is like team building and just enjoying your football and being happy and building up your tank, as they say.
Word. Oh, last comment about open practice. Anthony has a lot of work to do. He turned the ball over so much.
It's a mad thing.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, yo, Ten Hag, you cannot allow that when the season starts. Like, if he's not gonna change, like, just...
And back to him when he come in the match, it's everybody's like, it's buzzards. He's got to go.
Dude, he ran into McTominay during the match. Like, ran into him.
Easy, right?
Everything
I'm
you
like,
it seems like
I tried, and I was trying to back him last season. I was like, yo, he's gonna turn his stuff around. I was like, yo, I watched open practice. I was like, dude, you literally every time you get the ball, you turn it over.
So the stadium thing. Now, we heard the brass was there to study SoFi because they want to do this big project, and SoFi they're getting ideas, and it seems like we want to go. The club wants to go big thing like the SoFi and that. What was your stadium experience sitting there like?
Well, way up in the nosebleeds, it was a beautiful view. It reminded me of Tower View when you play FIFA.
Yeah,
that was a tight view though. Like, you could see everything, and like you see all the play, obviously, because you got the whole field, and
you got that screen.
Like, even from that far away, the offsides was clear as day, like you said. That stupid call, clear the offsides. Yeah, the jumbotron screen thing right in front of you.
Did you feel okay? So, Bandito, can you, for the people who haven't been to Trafford, Mikey, Sean, the people who haven't been to Trafford, you guys tell us what's that feeling like when you're amongst Reds in the stadium? And I want to hear just quick descriptions from you three. And I didn't mean to
go ahead, Bandino.
Yeah, Old Trafford is 73,000, but it's a very tight 73,000. Whereas SoFi,
82.
The footprint is much bigger, so there's much more space. The open concourse at Old Trafford, you're gonna you're going to badge into wherever your ticket is, and you're going to be in the inner concourse just for that section. And I am not described as a tall person, and my knees were hitting the seat in front of me when I sat there, and there was so it is really tight. It's a tight space, but it's got soul to it. It's got brick that's you're going in through a gate that's been there since 1911, and it's even though it's been built up in stages throughout the years, that took time. That took decades to have that feeling and that soul to it. So the idea that you can have a $5 billion stadium like SoFi, and then that's going to take time to build into that and to have that feeling wrapped around the stadium. I talked to a West Ham fan who lived in London and is now living in Chicago. So he's been Boiling Grounds and now the new stadium. And he said the thing that has brought that feel back to the stadium is the success they had in their campaign in Europe. So it seems like if you build a new stadium, you got to start winning. So I don't know what that means for Spurs, but at least West Ham has had a little bit. So that's my little 2 cents. Go ahead, Sean.
You want to go, Big Mikey? You've been quiet.
So yeah, it's kind of cramped. It's a hike too, going up. It's like I was in the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, low and high in that. I saw a league match in the week, and it was late. It was later in the day, and it was like not that many. It was a lot of people, but it wasn't packed. It was when we played Derby and we lost on penalties. It's tight. It's tight in there, but that gives it a coziness that and you feel like you're on top of the action, right? You feel like looking down, you could see it, and you can see what's going on. Pause on top of the action is crazy, but yeah, I enjoyed it, and I feel like what they'll do with this SoFi idea and all this other stuff will kind of rob it of that intimacy that you get by being there, but also it kind of encourages people to people want to talk. They'll talk to you there, right? Like I talked to a lot of people there just from the perimeter of where I was sitting, not during the match, but just, pregame and all that. I think it invites that kind of togetherness. And when you score, it's electric. It's like a rumble going through. Like my first ever goal I saw at Old Trafford was Fred scoring against Wolves. It was a 1-1 draw, but it was crazy. It was like electric. So I think you lose some of that when you get into these bigger venues. I don't know. But I never sat in the Stratford End or anything like that. I'm sure Sean could speak to that type of stuff.
Yeah, we touched on that a little bit on the show yesterday about just how the stadiums are built kind of in Europe compared to here that I've noticed. Compared to I go to the Steelers. I was at the Steelers game on Friday, should I say, to watch the Liverpool game, and kind of the Steelers stadium is built just vertically, whereas Europe it's more like this, but then another one over the top. So you feel more closer to the stadium compared to some of the American stadiums that you go into.
Heinz Field.
Yeah.
So from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I know. It's Acrisure Stadium now, apparently. But the Stretford End is a whole different ballgame. It's like, being. I don't know how to compare it to American because I haven't really experienced anything in America like that. Like
college football.
College football.
I've been to a pit game. Singing the song. So that's kind of the closest I've
Georgia.
Been to. Well, I've never. What I'm saying is
USC,
what I've experienced personally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've never. Pitt is the only kind of college football game I've been to. So, there's nothing really I can compare it to over here. Like the only thing I've noticed is just the way the stadiums are. The vertical of the stand. But the Stretford End is something that everyone needs to experience. It's insane. Especially when the players are coming in. There's a corner in the end. It's just an insane part of the stand to be in. So
I would definitely compare it to, well, my couple times I've gone is to be in between the hedges in Athens, because that's tight.
Yeah, that's
and it's close. You're really close to it. You could
you're
see.
really close. Yeah.
Yeah, so you could see what's going on, and it's like nonstop. Nobody's moving. It's like, we have breaks. Football's a longer game. It's 4 hours, 5 hours played. But when it gets going, I definitely will. It's not the same, but it's the closest I've felt to Old Trafford. But I've felt nothing since.
Yeah, and I think what Sean's talking about is, I think in like modern stadiums, the sight lines are better. So like in Old Trafford, when you're up the apples, as they say, you have this sight like this, and you can't see the other stand. You just the edge of the pitch.
Yeah, you can see the edge of the pitch. Yeah.
So I mean, obviously it rains and there's cover, but that's kind of how the terraces, the old terraces were built. Where these new stadiums, it's very open and there's fantastic sight lines. Mm-hmm. You can walk up from from behind the seating section, and you can see the field as well. Mm-hmm. So there's that, and there's also what they wanted to look at is Hollywood Park as a whole. So Hollywood Park used to have a racetrack, and it has a casino, and it has the Forum, so a concert hall. They have a new YouTube concert hall. There's that new Cosm event center. I believe that even the Clippers are trying to build a facility there.
Facility already up.
So that's what they want to do. They almost want to integrate from Old Trafford all the way to like media center, Media City, with shops and hotels. Improve the rail. There's a rail station that Old Trafford that's just, it's boarded up. There's no stop there.
No.
So they want to make improvements for the people around the area of Old Trafford, because if you've been there, no, it's quite depressed. So
yeah, trying to find a hotel close to Old Trafford isn't possible. I had to get an Uber for 25 minute ride to Uber to Old Trafford. I think the only one there is the soccer stadium, soccer.
There's the IB up the street, but most people will stay in town and they'll walk into to the ground.
So have a hotel and a casino, that would be amazing.
So that's kind of what they're looking at. They're looking at also the Bernabeu and how they've done their stadium. So the Enos Brass were in LA to look at the stadium, but also to meet with city officials and talk about what they did at Hollywood Park.
One thing I would like to see at Old Trafford is, the area where you get the beers and stuff in America. Can we not do that in England? Because you cannot drink a goddamn beer in England and sit down and watch the game. So I'd love to be able to grab a beer and stand there and watch the game for a little bit. Because you just, if you try and go in the stands with a beer in your hand, they'll like, nope, go back. You're not allowed it.
And those are the areas I was at, and those are magnificent areas. It's if you're obviously you can't fan mix in Europe, but when you're with your people, it's a beautiful thing. That's the best part of it. But with those stadiums, all these stadiums, you win, the vibe is going to be right. I was just concerned. I was worried about how do you feel about spatially and all that. It's beautiful. I mean, everything is happening outside the stadium is amazing. Like the Cosmo, what's it called?
Cosmo.
It sounds like, Casey, you would like to have one Premier League game here.
No way in hell. No. Trying to set me up for some Babylon.
So fast forward, if you're listening and you haven't been to Old Trafford, you have about 6 years to do it before it may be repurposed for something else.
Yeah, I can't even say where I've been, but
I'd be shocked if they're building.
You've been to the City Ground, you said. You've been to the Etihad, you said.
I've been to the Etihad, yeah.
You went to that instead, you said.
Oh, damn. Talking about you, Case.
Casey's been to the
You went to that first.
I was ignorant. And the person that took care of me was ignorant.
I ain't never been that ignorant.
Well, you don't know my life.
I've been past the Etihad, but I ain't never going in that shithole.
I've been.
I was at
Arsenal.
the 6-3 away match, so that was not fun.
October 2012 ish.
Not last
Not
season.
a recent one.
Season before.
Yeah. I've been to the Emirates before. It's a nice ground, to be honest. They built that up right, so they should really be looking at Arsenal if you want to build a ground that kind of like preserves the neighborhood around it in a bustling area in London. So maybe they should look at the Emirates as a way to build, because they have bridges and cross streets. It's easy to get into, easy to get out to, plenty of space in the corridors. Yeah,
same as Wembley. Wembley has.
I agree with
Yep. Wembley too.
The Emirates, that's the same owner. The same owner as the SoFi. So
Wembley in the middle of what's that? Tottenham.
I think the thing that Old Trafford has is they have space there. There's loads of space there.
It could be. They could do amazing things with architectural stuff today, and the space they have, they could do something wicked. I mean, they could even break Trafford into a smaller stadium.
They could build the stadium whilst playing at Old Trafford, right? Because it's just going to be in that back lot where all the ship containers are.
Yeah,
I like what Sean and Mikey was talking about. Something when you build atmospheres, you got to make these tickets so normal heads can go. You want to bring a younger crowd in there. You want to give deals to schools and stuff like that. And I would hope that's something they, think about doing. Don't make it so corporate. Don't make it so everybody's got to pay this and that. Just have an area or section where you can have a younger vibe, a younger crowd, and make it easy, maybe more accessible for the common person. That's the only thing I worried about, because when we build these gigantic stadiums out here with stores and all that, ticket prices go up.
Well, let me speak to that, because you're talking about the roots of football, right? Where people would just queue up, right? If you're under 15, 17, you just queue up day of, pay $2. So if they are going to build a 100,000 seater, you're going to make room. You've got to be able to make room for, youth prices to be affordable for working class people. And even if you're not making a load of money, get young working class adults in there. That's who, I know a few of the people from the red, TRA out there, and it's all kids about 25 to 30, and that's who's bringing a lot of the atmosphere. So like you said, Casey, you can't price people out like there was a move to price working class people out of football, and you'd really hate to see that just progress further.
The problem that the Man United clubs are going to do is United 75,000 sells out instantly. You don't think 100,000 is not going to sell out just as quick? That's the problem. They know that they can get that money even if it's $60, $70 a pop.
Yeah, but go ahead, Mikey.
Games coming to the U.S., man. Whether you like it or not, it's imminent. It's gonna happen. They're seeing all this great money on these overseas tours, and it's just more and more and more money as the United States gets way more interested in football. It went from the 8th most popular sport to like the 4th or 5th now.
Yeah,
in a 10-year span.
And what's so scary is that I've seen some. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad, Mike. You still going?
No, go ahead.
It's crazy because I've seen some of these YouTubers post the videos about how Premier League football is trying to, in some way, imitate the NFL. Right? NFL's already going to Europe, going to Mexico. So they're seeing the trend. The NFL, right? They're a cash cow, right? They're seeing how they're still making so much money, and they're not as global as the Premier League. So the Premier League is trying to imitate some of that, and we're seeing it with these preseason games, and like Mikey's saying, it might not be too far away where you're going to SoFi, KC, and you're going to go see United
I said this. I said
I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm not saying in 5 years. I'm just saying it's gonna be eventual. It's gonna slow. They're gonna slowly put it onto us, and we're gonna have to respond. And this is what happens every time, especially in protest. What you do is you put an idea on somebody, and then you see how the outrage is, and you ride it out. And then you over time you just do it, and either they deal with it or they don't deal. And there's gonna be plenty of Americans who don't have the damn history and don't have anything going really, and just want to see United versus whatever, and they've never been to Old Trafford, and it'll happen, and then it'll happen more than once. I don't see it happening tomorrow, but I feel like that thing's gonna happen. I feel like Super League's gonna happen eventually.
They'll get told, yeah, you're going to do it, and then someone's going to sue the Premier League. I said this last night.
But the Premier League is so in love with money right now. I don't.
Yeah, but the Premier League is. But like I said to Mikey last night, you're looking at only the top 6-7 teams that are going to be doing this. Because if you bring Wolves versus Luton over to America, you think they're going to sell that stadium out? Not a chance. Not a chance. Luton versus Nottingham Forest.
Chelsea and United. It's going to be.
It's going to be the big teams.
Only big clubs. I don't know what.
I mean, you're seeing more like football. What is it? Football owners go in and invest their own Premier League teams. Like you got the dude, the owner for the Jaguars over there owning Fulham.
JJ Watt.
Yeah,
he's in
exactly.
Mikey said this perfectly.
A lot of American money is in the Premier League. A lot of American ownership is in the Premier League. So you know the Kroenke's going to want to see it out here, so and that's the reality of it all. But the thing is, what I'm concerned about, one game, I wanted to turn it to 4-3.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's going to happen is people are going to get irate when their team comes and lose over here and drop the position because they lost over here, and they're going to blame it on travel and all them type things. And players are going to be like, took me time to adjust to the time zone.
So in 6 years, So in 6 years' time, when Man United are playing, say, a European game in Russia on a Wednesday night, and you're telling them that they gotta go to America to play a game on a Saturday or a Sunday.
It can't be with 2 games in 1 week.
It's not gonna happen. I don't think this is gonna happen. I think the clubs are gonna go mental. They cannot
schedule it when there's another game that week.
I don't think it's gonna happen at all.
We just played on Ross Saturday and come back the next Sunday.
So what you see happening more likely, a Super League or Premier League playing in the
Premier
US?
League's already the Super League.
Super League already happened. It's called Champions League. They just changed the format to make it a Super League.
It's just them La Liga teams holding on to that Super League thing because they broke. Barca's so broke. Real Madrid don't care. They're like, we'll take more cheese.
Juventus was with it too. Juventus was like, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
they're broke. They also don't have money.
Yeah.
So.
They just adapted the Premier League. They just changed the format. Premier League.
Jeff said United is turning into a Dutch national team.
Oh, we're turning like the Wolves of Portugal, right?
Hey, we just signed someone today that wasn't Dutch.
Yeah, the dude from Arsenal.
Yeah, he's not Dutch. He could play for England.
He's not. I heard he's wicked. I've never peeped him yet. They said that Arsenal fans was telling me at the match it wasn't going to happen.
Blake says college football is different down here in the South. Amen, brother. They don't know nothing about it.
SEC.
Yeah, they don't know nothing about it.
I'm going to hang on to that college football because we win everything else out here in the West. So I don't know what the hell you thought about.
I mean,
we win everything else.
Ain't nothing like the SEC, brother. Ain't nothing like it.
You got right because LA, SoCal. He's seen these players. They're loving this SoCal lifestyle. At least what I've been hearing, Jadon Sancho is in love with the SoCal lifestyle.
Well, send him out there.
Well, let him play for the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I think he probably would for the right price.
We shouldn't kill bad like that. That's wild. That's wild.
They still won't win anything.
Who?
Oh man!
So you get rid of LeBron, you won't win an NBA championship either.
Oh, see, I don't even go that far. You see,
that's wild.
LeBron,
Chuck LeBron.
So what about Ugarte? What about Ugarte?
I can say that.
I've heard that the brass is also trying to say if they can't buy him, they'll just like loan him out this year.
The loan is going to buy.
It's going to be a loan to buy, right? That's what I was hearing yesterday.
Obligation to buy. No, not a loan to buy.
Yeah. The contract's going to be bigger because they want more at the back end. Pause.
Whew.
Do you think it's going to be if the loan to buy Bandito is going to be? They're going to ask for more money towards the end of the contract instead of what's they going now? 60 for him, Ugarte?
64 euros, yeah, around that. 59
Oh, no, we
euros.
won't go too much higher. 60's enough. I like him, but
I-
it sounds
I-
like
I
everybody's
think
saying.
it's to
Go ahead, Mandino.
I think it's to get around amortization. So instead of breaking this up over 3 years, you get the loan and then you get the buy fee and then you can break that up. So I think it's like the same money. So one of the issues with the mandatory buy is what if he comes and it's like Amrabat and he doesn't have a great year. Now you're obligated to buy this guy.
I mean, it's the risk. It's the risk when you're
right. It's a risk if you just buy his contract outright too, right?
Yeah.
But then you can at least say like, well, it's his first year. He's getting used to the league and all of that. So, it's money moves, and before you wouldn't trust United to do good money moves, but I think we've got a little better feeling about it.
Yeah,
I think we're better scouting too now, right?
Yeah, we are.
I feel like these guys are going after their needs, and they've done a little bit of research. I feel like Omar and Ashworth and all these guys before they knew before we knew for sure a long time ago, and then also they were doing this homework before they came on board. Like I'm sure Ashworth was in the cup, like, yo, I like this guy's game. I like this guy. He can fit this. This is what we need. Ten Hag could coach this way. I'm sure that's happening way more when we had the bankers in charge. When it was just, big name Pogba, get him in for 100,000. Big name Di Maria, get him in for this much. Like just going after big names and not putting him in pieces and buying pieces that we need. So because we were crying for CDM for years, and they finally get us Casemiro, and it didn't really work out as much as we wanted to. So definitely risk all the time. But sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And it seems like we're more willing to walk away, like than before. We'll just throw more money at it and just bring them in.
Yeah.
We've got plan A, B, and C, and we're willing to walk away. And
I'm kind of curious about the end of August to see.
Right, the same thing
really
with back. We didn't just say we need this particular player and that's it. We've got options.
Yeah, I'm curious to see at the end of August to see if we have changed or not, or whether we do go back and throw the money in at the end of the transfer window. Because if we haven't got things in place that we need by then, do we revert back to the way we were and just throw money at things, or do we just wait till January?
I don't think they have that in them. They're definitely more invested in energy in their resources and backgrounds, and I think a lot of them know these players from situations or probably try to recruit them somewhere else. So basically my point is I definitely trust this group so far.
Strategic moves.
Yes.
Strategic.
So by August, start of the kickoff season, do we see Casemiro in the squad?
Yes.
Casemiro, autonomy.
Yes. Casemiro's here to stay.
If they're not two, then they're staying.
Actually, I think McTominay goes.
Wan-Bissaka too at the start of the season.
No, Wan-Bissaka. I think Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
No, he's gone.
Yet. He's just waiting for the wages to go a little bit closer to what he's making now, and he's dipping. But according to some sources, that's the deal that's going to happen. Then we're going to get the young fella.
We were supposed to see it already, right? The dude from Bayern.
Yeah, but everybody, as long as this tour is going on, business is not going to really get dealt. Because all the brass is running around.
The brass is running around in a different time zone.
Huh?
What's up with DeLit?
He's waiting like a gal. Excuse me, but he's got to chill.
He's got to chill until Lindelof goes.
The one thing
I'm hearing that it's already wrapped for DeLit. They're just waiting for a sale. Same with Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, Wan-Bissaka, everything's wrapped up, right? They're just waiting to. Yeah.
They're just waiting for Wan-Bissaka to go, so that way they can get the next. So that's what I'm hearing. Okay. But who knows?
It's a domino effect.
KC, have you noticed that the opinion on Wan-Bissaka is kind of like splits the fan base about him leaving or him staying?
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I feel that it is, but I'm a person who likes Wan-Bissaka, and I've accepted that he's not the style of player we need our brass want or our playing style. Yes, he's an excellent defender, and I love him.
Hannibal.
Back him. I want to keep him because I think he will lock a man down, on one side of the field and do his thing. but he's not the style. We want a more attacking based right back, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So I know people are like, are we taking a risk? Yada yada. And I was screaming that, but he's not the style we want. And
I
that's
think
all
we're
it is.
taking a risk selling him first and not getting Delit in, especially with Euro's injury. I don't know why we're
now
not.
it's a risk because Euro's injury.
Yeah, we don't necessarily need to get rid of him to get a new right back right now, even though it would be, I think it's a slight upgrade, but I think Delit's more of a need right now than a right back.
Facts. That's very fact. That injury changed that.
How long has he been here, Wan-Bissaka?
4 years, 5 years.
4 or 5 years, right?
We've seen we've seen what we've needed to see.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't know why it's split. A lot of it is player FC, right? Just like how Martial was. A lot of it is like they really don't care about the club in the long term, right? So like, yeah, you like Wan-Bissaka because he has bone crunching tackles in 1v1 and he'll do a job. But then when he lets 3 penalties go in a row, then what? Then what? Then what are you saying then? It's like the guy served a job. He can play, but we need somebody that's going to be more all around than he is. That's it.
And I think financial wise, you don't want him to go on a free next year.
No.
So if you can get a net sum zero and bring in another player that more fits your style, then I think that you have to do it.
100%. I mean, we could get some decent change for him. I was seeing now 10 million is disrespectful. That's what a lot of the Italian clubs were offering. They were saying 10 million. Now that's just disrespectful. But like 20, 22, 25 million.
I'm hearing
for this guy at 25, 26 years old.
I think he leaves between 15 and 20 million.
Yeah, I'll take 20 million for him. Easy.
20 would be nice.
Yeah, easy. We get back almost half of what we spent. And he did some good service for us. God bless him. I don't think he's a scrub, but God bless him.
That's the whole problem with our back line right now. 3 of them are out of contract next summer. You got Maguire, Lindelof, and Wan-Bissaka are all out of contract next summer.
I don't think Lindelof leaves.
Lindelof doesn't leave. We ain't getting Delit.
I don't think he leaves.
Well, is it the problem of the wages? They're not going to get the same wages?
Guys like their wages, their weekly wages, and it's more or less there's offers for them, and their wages are going to decrease. But man's living good over here in Manny. They're like, whoa,
it's going to be living good for 1 more year.
Yep. And that's all it is.
Sometimes they feel like they can play themselves back into the team, right? And sometimes they're foolishly right, like Harry Maguire, right? Like Harry Maguire almost played himself back into the starting position. If we were blind and we didn't know, but like. Yeah, they still have hope. They still want to make it at Man United, I'd like to believe. So, like, I don't know.
For the background staff, they've got to have balls and say, look, thank you for your service. Time for you to go.
Yeah.
Unless United backroom staff start saying telling these players, like, hey, you either leave or you're not going to play, they're not going to leave.
Yeah, but then at some point, they got to know that we're getting younger. They're getting a younger center back that's going to play their position. They know that they're on their way out. They're on the wrong side of 30 now.
Last question. Let me ask you this. In Aaron Wan-Bissaka's case, do you think he believes Diego Dalot's going to be healthy every week?
He was the most consistent player last year. He played more games. And
him and Bruno, yeah.
But look, you think so?
I rate Dalot. I'm the wrong person. I rate Dalot better than Wan-Bissaka.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Wan-Bissaka,
I don't. Health.
Yeah, I mean, health-wise, wasn't he injured too, Wan-Bissaka? I was just seeing that he
was injured. Yeah, it was injured.
He didn't play as many games. The dude that they're trying to get from Bayern played almost just as much games as Wan-Bissaka. They both have the same. But offensively, he's better than Wan-Bissaka. And defensively, he's slight. I mean, at least the stats show that Wan-Bissaka was slightly better. We know Wan-Bissaka is a baller when it comes to one-on-one defending, right? But football's more than just that.
Who had more assists?
And Hag, yeah.
100%.
Well, we're coming to the end. These gentlemen are going to be having their things going to South Carolina. There's going to be videos. There's going to be a lot of meet and greets.
Meet?
They're going to have a show.
Yeah, have fun, guys. Have fun, man. Enjoy it.
I'm curious to see how it is in the South, since the South.
Hopefully,
the South is going to be lit this weekend.
It's going to be lit, dude.
Oh.
'Cause the fact that I checked the weather today and it's going to be lightning on Saturday, so
Oh wow!
it's gonna be
Set
lit
it
somehow.
off. Everybody go underground.
Nice.
Yeah.
I might call the game off. Hell,
See how it is.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys have fun. You guys gonna go to the trainings and all that too?
There is no open training.
Oh, that's right. You did tell me that yesterday.
But hopefully my application gets approved,
Wow.
so me and
Nice.
Big Mikey can go to
Yeah,
the
the media
trainings.
We'll
pass
be on
is
the lookout
great.
for that. Hopefully, we get updates, man.
hey, Blake says Casey, come down for UGA game.
I'm go behind the ground.
He ain't ready for that SEC life, man. He ain't ready.
Yeah, I'll come
to
down.
UCLA.
Go Gators.
Wow.
Oh man.
This has been another one of
Nice.
those Casual Red shows. I want to thank Bandito, Cheese, German in the studio, Sean, Hater
I
Mike.
might not be on next week, boys. I'll
Alright.
do, but it'll be.
Oh yeah.
Check out
traveling.
United Fan Zone. It's a great show.
He said
It's a
Hater
great
Mike.
show.
The Reds.
Up fucking Reds. Loved it. LA was good. Like good me seeing all the Reds. Damn, shout out to San Diego, OC Reds. Santa Barbara Reds. Santa Barbara.
Nice.
Shout out to Santa Barbara.
I don't want to say no names, but I had a good time. Marcus, I'm sorry I bumped into you. Everybody, this is Those Casual Red Show. We're out. I'm in the whip. One.
You are listening to Those Casual Reds with Casey Gayle, Jeremy Sanchez, and Mikey Douglas, only on LA Talk Radio.